Straight in, yeah? Straight to camera. I'm Tom Beaumont, head of the academy at Bromley Football Club.
Tom, you lead one of the most successful and largest academies in the country. Tell us about Bromley Football Club.
Well, yeah, it's a fantastic place to be. We've come a long way. I started here when the new board came in, and I was lucky enough to be working with someone already involved, the academy director, Mark Hammond, as a PE teacher in the local borough. He said, I've got a chance to build something brand new and start a new football academy. Are you interested in coming on board? And yeah, it didn't take me long to say yes. It's a really interesting question to be asked. Like, what is the philosophy? What do you do and how do you do it? Our mantra, if you will, is rather than focusing on being a professional footballer, which is every young footballer's dream, is can you be a professional in football? So rather than just focusing on that elite footballing and sporting element, we've got the chance to create professionals in all different. So, for example, myself, and with my background in teaching, but I come to work at a football club every day. And
it's an elite environment as well, isn't it? I think people would be perhaps pleasantly surprised when they come and visit here and they see the classrooms, they see the technology, the standard of the education that you provide, but of course, obviously, the football inside of it as well. It really is the highest sort of standard, isn't it?
It's come a long way. It really has come a long way, and that the growth of the football club has been matched by the academy. So not just in numbers and the amount of people that we have involved now, but quality of the facilities, the footballing facilities, but they're also matched by the 6 classrooms that we have upstairs that are state-of-the-art, but certainly forward-thinking in the way that they are. When we were going through the design stages of the classrooms and we're looking at what do we want these rooms to be like for these young people to be educated in, you know, I did a bit of research and I looked at it, and classrooms, traditional classrooms where the board's at the front and there's rows of chairs and tables that all face the front. Well, that's what classrooms looked like 100 years ago. Well, how many things in the world still look like they did 100 years ago? So that went into our thinking of going, can these be flexible? Can they be multi-use? Can they change all the time to suit not just the content that's being taught, but also the students that are in there? Group work is going to be pivotal at times, but other times working independently is going to be crucial as well. So they've got the scope where we can utilise them however we want.
It's more than just education. It's giving these people, these individuals, these pupils, a platform to build successful lives.
That's it. We are in a perfect melting pot, because with the fast train from Bromley South that goes right into the heart of London in no time, we've got people travelling from all over London, as well as people that are Bromley based and guys that are travelling from Kent up to us. We've got a real mixture, diversity, like you said, of different characters, different people from different home lives, and it actually helps to equip and educate each other themselves just within their own friendship groups, that we've got different people from different backgrounds all coming to one place, but all with a similar focus. They want to become better footballers, and they want to become and better themselves educationally.
I'm really glad you mentioned the women and girls element, because on this road to Wembley, of course, we're celebrating what the boys are doing, what they've achieved in the FA Trophy, but we're looking at the club as well. We're focusing on different areas, and yet again, the women and girls pathway is something that has developed and enjoyed success in a short space of time, and we're seeing a huge amount of development in that area. Is that an area of focus for you moving forwards?
Yeah, it's certainly an area for growth. At the moment, all of the girls that are in the academy, so that are studying here from 16 upwards, they've come from all different places. Their backgrounds in football are from all different places, and they've found us as their home for their full-time education and football support and football provision. But now we've got, with the growth of the girls' game lower down in the club, we've got girls that are already Bromley players that want to stay with us. So without question, this year in our recruitment process for start of next season, we've had more girls than ever before.
Jamel Wojciak, Head of Coaching and Under-18s coach. What we've tried to do with the academy is allow all the teams to play in the same way. So we like to play a progressive possession-based style, where we like to try and dominate the ball best we can, and control the spaces in possession, but also out of possession. We have different strategies how we press, depending on the opposition, but myself and Steve Harris, who does the 23s, have a very similar way we see the game. So it's been seamless working with him and the rest of the coaches, because they share the same vision as us.
Is it quite important as well to provide a platform for players to express themselves, to make mistakes and ultimately learn and progress?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I always never really criticise players massively on decisions, but also just their attitude. If people show up, they engage, they commit to what we're trying to do, then that's half the battle. the technical, tactical side. They've got time to learn that before they go into the first team environment. And I think our jobs at this level, at this age group, and they leave at 18, 19, only 1 or 2 might get through and make a career in full-time football. Hopefully more in a part-time level of football, and the majority, we really want to try and keep them in the game as long as possible, enjoying the game and playing it at amateur level, at university, wherever it may take them, because you see a lot of dropouts at this age, because that dream that they have almost doesn't quite happen and it becomes real at 18, 19. So it's difficult, it's really difficult to manage that, and it's one of the hardest aspects of the role, and something that I take really seriously because we care massively about the welfare of the boys, but it is really difficult, yeah.
If you had to describe the kind of footballer you would like to mould in the academy, to kind of knock on Andy's door and say, look, check this player out, what kind of traits, what qualities would they have?
It's impossible to answer that because, and I mean that in the most respectful way, because everyone's different. I think football's you show your personality when you play football, and at this level football can be so versatile, and we're not in a position like a Barcelona which models their first team on the academy. So our philosophy in the academy is to give a holistic programme which coaches all the phases of the game and creates a holistic player who understands those. So if the manager plays a certain style based on game to game, the player understands what they need to do. I'd look more at the person and make sure that they apply themselves well. They deal well with setbacks, they deal okay with setbacks. They're positive with negative moments, if that makes sense. And that gives them the platform to then go and progress in that environment, because it is tough.
Hi, I'm Jack Jolly and I'm head of the Ravensbourne School Education, Year 12 and Year 13.
It's so impressive, and it's the kind of thing I wish I had growing up as a youngster, that idea that you can pursue your football, but of course the educational side of it is so important, and perhaps for supporters that aren't aware, the education side is a huge part of what you do here.
Yeah, massively, especially with the fact that it runs exactly alongside the football side of things. So without the education, football doesn't really come alongside it. We want them to play as much as they can, but if they're not up to date with deadlines, if they're turning up late, then football can be taken away. That isn't our aim, that isn't our goal. We want them to play football as much as possible, but the education is a massive part of this academy, and we really push the education side of things, and want them to come out with something at the end of the course. So if they can make it to footballer, brilliant. If they don't, then at least they've got a qualification to support and back them up at the end of the 3 years, which could then lead and help them to go on to university.
And I suppose the disciplines that they learn in the classroom also serve them well out on the pitch as well.
Yeah, definitely. Punctuality, attendance. Punctuality on the training pitch is exactly the same as it should be in the classroom. If they're turning up to training late and not on time, then that could have an effect on their place in the team, maybe even their starting position.
Let's talk about the FA Trophy, because as a coach, as a teacher, it must be so rewarding for you when you see your young players handed senior starts, and many of them have had a real influence and impact on Bromley's road to Wembley. Tell us about them and how they've been getting on.
Yeah, we're blessed. You know, we're blessed. We've got some really, really talented boys, and I think what I'm most proud of is who they are. Not just the footballer that they are, but we're kind of falling back on what we mentioned earlier. They work hard. They work hard. They're good young people, and they are good role models. So already we're generating not just players, but we're generating role models for the younger guys. The guys that are coming in want to be these guys that are making their debuts. They want to be these young people that are scoring goals on the telly. You know, they're getting to see a genuine path that they can follow in. They can follow in the footsteps. We're not having to stand there and say, you could do this, and it might happen. We're saying, this guy has done it. Like, this guy has walked this walk. So if you have all the ingredients and you invest, then you could walk the walk as well.